What's going on, everyone? Mitesh here with MTech, and we're about 2 weeks away from the announcement of the Galaxy S9, but there have been so many leaks about it that I thought I'd do a little rumor roundup and rant about this one particular rumor that I hope is not true, but it might be. So let's get started with that. Alright, so let's go ahead and start off by talking about the specs for the device. So this year, the Galaxy S9 and S9 Plus are going to be slightly different. These are some renders from Phone Arena, and right off the bat, you can tell that they're not the same looking device. So last year, the S8 and S8 Plus were very similar devices. One just had a bigger battery and bigger screen, but this year the S9 Plus will come with a few different features. So the main one you can see right here is that it's going to come with dual cameras, but let's go and start off with the things that they have in common. So they will have the same exact processor. In the United States and China, it's going to be the Qualcomm Snapdragon 845, I believe. That's the latest and greatest from Qualcomm. Pretty much any and every Android flagship this year will have that processor, and they'll have the same screen resolution, but once again with 5.8 inch for the Galaxy S9 and 6.2 inch for the Galaxy S9 Plus. Samsung still makes some of the best displays on phones, so you know they're going to be pretty great. So one of the things that's going to be different this year is the memory that's going to be available to different devices. So the S9 is going to come with the 4 gigabytes of RAM and 64 gigabytes of storage that we saw with the S8 and S8 Plus, but the S9 Plus will come with 6 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigabytes of storage. So that's something that's a little bit different this year. In terms of cameras, now they both have the same exact main camera, and it's a whole new thing that they're doing. So the main camera will be, once again, a 12 megapixel sensor, but it's going to have two different apertures. So it's going to have a variable aperture, which is something that's completely new on smartphones. Only one other Samsung phone before has had it, and that was like a flip smartphone, so nobody's actually really used it. But it'll have two apertures, one that's the f1.5, and it'll have this mechanical aperture closing ring thing that's going to change the aperture to f2.5. Now, where that's going to come in handy is when you are already in a good lighting situation, you can use that smaller aperture to get a larger depth of field, so you can get a shallower depth of field is actually probably more accurate. So what it's going to do is allow you to get more things in focus. At least that's the theory behind it. We'll really have to see what kind of pictures it produces. This is something brand new, so it'll be really kind of exciting to see. But the Galaxy S9 Plus will come with a secondary telephoto lens, and that's something similar to the iPhone secondary lens. But aside from that, some of the other rumors that are out there are, well, you can see from the pictures that the fingerprint reader is finally in the right location. Last year, they put it in a very dumb place next to the camera sensors, but this year it's going to be below and close to the middle of the phone, so your finger will naturally go there. And last but not least is the fact that it keeps the headphone jack, something that's just really great. I'm really afraid it's going to lose it next year, but for this year, if you guys buy the new phone, you get to have a headphone jack, which is awesome. But that's it for pretty much most of the specs. It's going to come in 4 different colors, so there's midnight black, titanium gray, lilac purple, and coral blue. So it's really nice that they're giving us a bunch of colors. I really like that. I'm kind of tired of the black and white phone. I really wish they were doing the accent power button like some phones like the Pixel 2 did with their Panda edition, but they're not doing that. But it's not important. That's just cosmetic stuff. What is important, though, is the price. So this is the one rumor that I'm hoping is not true, but might be, and that's that they're going to increase the price of the Galaxy S9 by $100, and they also, I assume it's going to be the same for the Galaxy S9 Plus. So the starting price for the Galaxy S9 was $720 or $750, I think, and then the S9 is rumored to be $850. And that to me is one of this device's biggest disappointments, is the fact that Samsung feels the need to charge Apple's level of pricing for the iPhone in their base level phones. So I think one of Android's greatest advantages is the fact that they offer so many different phones at different price points. But if all flagships are going to charge over $800 for starting price, I think that's just not that just doesn't make sense. It's leaving a lot of room for those people that are looking for something that's in the $400, $500 range. And Samsung makes a whole bunch of phones in that range, but the problem is they never update those phones. So if you're someone who's on a budget, you're stuck at looking at either never getting updates for your phone or spending $900 for a brand new phone. And I just don't know that makes a ton of sense. In that case, I'd rather go with an Apple phone, go with an iPhone, get one that's a couple generations older because I know at least it'll be supported. And this is coming from someone who really prefer Android to iOS. But when it comes to things like this, if I'm stuck paying $1,000 and then I can't get updates for more than 1 year or 2 years at most, I just don't know that it makes a lot of sense. I want to stay secure. I want my data to be secured, and with things like Spectre and Meltdown, like I know at least Apple will patch my phone. Now they may slow it down also, but that's a whole nother thing. So if Samsung wants to start charging me iPhone level prices for my phones, I want them to start offering me Apple level service. Give me phones that are up to date. Don't give me the Android Oreo update 6 months later. Give it to me within 1 month or two. Give me security patches every month like the Google Pixel does. Don't just give me security patches whenever you guys feel like it. That doesn't make sense. That's not keeping me secure. So that's pretty much it for my ranting about the price. I'm really hoping that this is not a trend we see with all phone manufacturers, that they try to keep themselves in check a little bit. If not, maybe some company will see the opportunity in the market and maybe try to go in and give us a device that is decent. OnePlus is doing their thing. Their phones are still getting more and more expensive every year too, but hopefully somebody can give us a decent budget phone that's up to date. That's all we can really look forward to. That's pretty much all I have for you guys in the next one. I will be making another video after the announcement and compare the rumors to what's actually announced. So hopefully the price is not true, but we'll have to see. If you guys like this, go ahead and hit that like button. If you guys want to see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.